Weatherman Sam, man in the big green hat. I'm here in Bankhead National Forest. I'm kind of doing a plan B today. It's always important to have a plan B. It'll be a short little hike, and with all the rain that we've had, hopefully there'll be a few little waterfalls or whatnot, but this area, off trail of course, is completely not explored before. So let's go see what we find. Beautiful little stream coming through here. You can tell I'm following a bit of a trail. Yeah, I got a late start on it today. Afternoon since I've set out here. And anybody that knows me knows it's extremely late in the day for me to even ponder a hike, especially in Bankhead. I tend to take my time and never know what I'm going to run into or how long something's going to take, especially off trail. But happy to be out here, that's for sure. Sitting here looking at the water. It's an old moonshine still site. See the leftover tin stuff here. Nice circular little hole here. Could have been where the vat was built into it. I can see some of the rocks peeking out where they've built up the area around the rocks. And you're just a short distance away. It's really good water source apparently. February when I'm shooting this, I guess for some kind of reference, and it's warm. It's probably 70, close to 70 degrees anyway, which for this area, North Alabama, is kind of above average. It's been an odd winter. I think we're coming up on our first little falls here. It's an interesting landscape. A lot of this seems to have reasonably recently burned, and until this section right here that I've come up on is been reasonably open too. Been easy walking to get down to this point. Yeah, I can already see the waterfall. You see it in this video? Whenever I'm hiking into the woods and I'm looking for a waterfall of some kind, I always look for the horizon line, some kind of straight thing that doesn't make sense in the landscape at all. And that right there doesn't make sense in the landscape. Flashing off of something, and what a nice little shelter. Now we just have to find a way down. little boulders in this area. Don't know if there's caves or where this leads to, honestly. But there's a lower falls here that I'm trying to get to. And then we'll go on downstream lower cascades to that falls. Well, I just stumbled up on this. Look at all the axe marks in that thing. That looks like bullet holes over there. Wow. These are about 4 feet around on average. You can still see they have a lot of little nails. This would have had a wooden top to it. And the wood's long since rusted away, but the nails all rotted away. Wood rots. You can see the stones I mentioned earlier in a little video clip. Stones they built this up around. Here you can see one of the rings. Would have fit around the top of it. One of the other little vats. Probably was a third one there. Look at the side of that. Maybe that's not bullet holes, but that sure looks like something. Just riddled. Huge colony of crane fly working growing down there in the bottom of it. That's cool. Out of that train is very long, and here comes the other one feeding in to the main branch here. So we'll go up that one. Hopefully that one will have a falls too. That's so satisfying to listen to. A little bit steep to walk on. So we'll get a little bit higher in terrain. I can already see the bluff up ahead. A little wind blowing up this little canyon, if you can call it a canyon. It wouldn't quite meet the criteria. Beautiful kind of little rolling hills. And the stream. Walk along. And then right there at the head, you get that little bit of bluff. And a waterfall. Back down kind of in the flats here. I don't know if it's an old gravesite or the remnants of a chimney. Stones line out to here though. Right next to this creek. Huge pine trees around it. The creek has huge bends in it. I love these giant S-shaped bends. A few little hemlocks hanging on here. This one on the rock. Really tall one right there. And we've got one more view over here. Some areas of the Bankhead, it's hard to really kind of discern what the canyons are. You really have to use the topo map and measure. You can't rely on the location of these hemlocks because people could get down here and clear cut everything. And let's think about canyons. Couldn't clear cut in the canyon. So you knew exactly where the falls were in those cases. There's a lot of spots here you kind of have to take a gamble. See what happens. I know these beech trees, a lot of them are young, but there's the whole forest through here. It's just, I don't know, full of them. Side stream here, and while it doesn't look crazy on a topo map, sometimes topo maps are off or don't quite capture everything. So this is enough water, I think, to entice me to go upstream. See what's up here. Oh yeah, I'm already happy with that, huh? Probably a month ago or something, with a friend, and we were just kind of walking along, and we came across something very similar to this. And I was really on the fence about going up it, but he was the one that was curious, to me, and so we went up it, even though it didn't look that great on the map. And that was the one of the tallest waterfalls we found that day. It was impressive. So since then, I'm sort of paying a little more attention to things. This massive old pine. Splitting pretty dramatic performance here. Already see evidence of an old roadbed running this way. If you walk this fast enough, especially if you're looking for waterfalls or moonshine stills, you learn to pay attention to the old roadbeds, the ones that are faint. A lot of times where you had access to those stills too, and I found so many of them just a stone's throw away from an old roadbed. We got a little bit of a ridge line here now. Always a good sign. There was nothing up this branch, but there was a second branch, so we're here. We're going to take that one too. I've been walking just a matter of minutes since that last video. See these bluffs. Had I not rechecked my map, honestly, I might have just walked straight out of here. This looks much more. Land is so open. See that dark spot up there? That's the shelter, and there are the falls. Tons and tons of liverwort. I'll be honest, the only footprints up in here are my own, and so I'm being trying to be very careful not to damage gorgeous extension of liverwort. There's other prints here. They're degraded from the wash, but you can see where this has been looted. artifacts. This is an old moonshine still set. See this metal ring? Here's some rocks and some more of this. It's very faded. There would have been one here that are a very large one, or two right here. You can almost see two distinct swirls. Oh, look at this. It's an old broken jug or something. How cool is that? I don't usually find pottery out here. And that is why you gamble. That's why you take a little eyeball looking stream that maybe has something, maybe not has something. We ended up with waterfall number 3 on the day and another moonshine site. Those are always cool to find. Beautiful little blue hole here. We're at the junction of two little streams. This is the main channel of the creek, and this backing up is a tributary, if you can believe that. We're gonna hike up this thing until we find a falls or until we hit private property, I think. Hopefully we find a cane through here. There's a weird wash area. All that over there is river cane. This may be the most river cane that I've seen in an area. Still pretty young stuff. You couldn't use it for poles or anything. Basket weaving maybe. It's nice to see such a huge healthy grove of it. Now that is a nice cut bank. Barbed wire, and well, that sign and that sign and that red mark and that no hunting sign over there marks the end of the line of this little drainage. Oh well. Another view of that river cane. Well, sometimes it happens like that. There's some obstruction somehow, and private property is the ultimate one. Do not trespass. But we may have still something left here on the way out. It's getting late in the day, so we'll see. Look at this. This is the creek that we're exiting on. We got a little cascade to greet us right here at the start of it. Oh yeah. This whole area suffered a bit of a wash here, some mist along the creek itself, a lot of erosion. Look how young these saplings are. I don't know if this was caused by fire or tornado damage or something. As you can see all the fallen trees in there. Maybe this was old storm damage of some kind. This is tough to walk through. Let me see if there's a route up on the other side here. There is an old roadbed. It'd be hard to hike down that little canyon. There's tons of storm damage here. Tons. A few little hemlocks coming up through. They've been there a while. We're gonna stick to this old road. It has been burned at least. See all those really young saplings. These are 3 or 4 feet high. The other side, well, they've been there a little while too, I guess. There's damage, different types of damage on both sides of this canyon. And the old road, unfortunately, is starting to end here. The breeze feels nice. We'll go way down. A little bit of a slide, but I wanted to get down in these hemlocks. This is something that I haven't seen hardly any of this trip. It's just nice to be in their presence. I'm missing some of the small bluff shelters up there. I'm hoping my find up here in a bit will be worth that sacrifice. Videos never really showcased fire in the bush and all the stuff you kind of have to go through, water included. Tree limb wedged to my shoe. To get to some of these magnificent places in Bankhead National Forest, they are not easy hikes. They are not easy hikes a lot of times. But well worth it. I'm not expecting to see all this. Ooh, a little bit of a slide there. Oh, we're getting some good hemlocks now. It's nice. It's an interesting carving. I don't know what it is, but when I initially walked up to it, I thought this was a head and this was a hat, but this is squared off. And a lot of old things I've seen carved out here were a series of initials and dates, and there was a lot of times they could be squared off like this too. Way too past worn to read, unfortunately. But it's cool to see the spot. This old tree is still standing. You're looking at a tree that's several hundred years old. We have a split, but I can already see this goes quickly up to a little bluff. So we will take this up to that one and work our way out to the left. Approaching the falls now. Oh, it's wonderful with all those moss-lined boulders in front of it. Your view of the little canyon here. Falls. Boulders. It widens out here. That was waterfall number 4. Here at the head of the canyon. number 5. All the storm damage hasn't been the easiest station to hike up to. They're all worth it, to me anyway. Just a reminder that somebody's always been there before. And they're telling how on that little rock stack that's been there. Got a nice enough little shelter back here. Plenty of room to get out of the rain if needed. Waterfalls number 5, and likely the last one today. What a good day it's been. Some of that stuff that I mentioned, you don't see some of these professional videos showing you stuff you gotta walk through. All this thick mountain laurel. Yeah, I'm caught by a wire, so I gotta turn this off. If I can get this down. I suspected that there was an upper falls. A lot of times there's a small upper falls. Ooh, oh! And here it is for your viewing pleasure. On this little adventure, folks. Hope you enjoyed all the waterfalls that we saw. Great views of the creek. And you know what? I just love the boulders. Just that green. The green of the moss on those boulders. That alone was enough for me. And just being in the woods. So until next time, keep exploring and stay wild.